And we are live. Hello, hello, good evening. I am going to be shortly joined by a couple of really awesome hapsters. I'm saying hapsters because they have migrated over here from Periscope. But welcome. Hello, Katrina. She's here. She's ready. Hopefully, you're home from work or on your way home from work so you can sit back and relax. Hi, Karen is also here. You guys are such awesome followers and supporters, and I feel the same about both of you. So, yes, we're in for a real treat. We have like real actors who do real like Hollywood stuff. And you wouldn't know from talking with them. They're just humble, everyday people like the rest of us, you know. But we're gonna be joined by Chris and Martin, also known as Car Hunger, on every platform in social media. We are currently on HAPS, which is a multicasting platform. It was just basically a tool for journalists. It's still in beta. It's very new, but they have opened this platform into a platform where people can interact, but also use this great tool for free where we can multicast out to all of our socials. I am currently have 2 places on Facebook. I have 1 on Twitter. Periscope is still a thing until March 21st. So it's going out there, and so I'm multicasting. I don't really have YouTube or Twitch yet. I do have a connection. Maybe someday we'll add to that. But, it's a great way to grow your platform. But there's something even better like the numbers, okay? And that is social interaction, the social part of social media, especially for artists and creatives, such as Christina and Martin. They are 2 of the nicest, coolest Canadians I know. Hello from Los Angeles. Hello from Philadelphia. You guys, I got a little message in there. You can see it says, "Go ahead without us." We are rushing to get here in this horrible weather. So in our weather out here, on the other side, they're over in Toronto. I'm over here in Ohio, just on the other side of Lake Erie here from where they are. And it looks like you can't even see the lake. It's just the visibility is terrible. So I can only imagine what it's like on their side. So they will be here shortly. And make sure you're following them if you're not. Make sure you're supporting them if you're not, because they got a really cool thing to introduce to us. There's a reason why I'm drawing her portrait, and I'm drawing a specific kind of portrait. I'm drawing her in a character. But Car Hunger, they can explain a little bit more about what they do. But have you guys ever seen, oh God, I always forget this movie, but I really liked it at the time. What's the movie with the portal? The whole series. It was a TV series. Oh, dang. Anyway. Stargate, thank you. I'm going to write that down because I know this. I know that they created like that actual portal that you see. They've also created a working canine, if anybody's a Whovian, the little robot dog, and they take that out. You go to their social medias on Facebook, click on it, and you'll see some really amazing pictures. She has these working black wings of I can't say this without a speech impediment. Maleficent? Is that how you say it? Anyway, the Disney, the Disney Dark Queen. And then you got like these working butterfly wings. She does that, and she does these. They're 2 different kinds. They're really cool, but they do props. They do work in the industry, making and creating fantasy. And we're going to be doing that, you guys, here live on HAPS on Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to them coming in and explaining a little bit more about how you can support and get involved. Because if you guys know anything about entertainers or creators or anybody who has an audience, like actors, role players, these guys are speakers, they're teachers. And of course, again, they have the other business, which is, supporting the movie industry. All of that stuff right now is, on hold because of COVID. So the fact that they're here with us, they have an Etsy shop, they can make you a lightsaber, they can make you elfin ears, they can do all kinds of things for you. Go to their Etsy shop as well, but while they're here, they can tell you where to go and support them. But while they are here on HAPS, you can support them in that way. They are literally trying to move their Patreon over to HAPS so that everything is all here. So the best thing you could do is buy them a cup of coffee once a month. It doesn't cost you much. They're asking us to participate in this really cool event on Sunday, and your entry fee is only $5. Seriously, it's going to be really cool. So I hope you guys can participate. And I hope, hello for Toronto, there is NFL Deer, NFLder. Okay, well, you guys, I am going to connect my camera to HAPS. I haven't done that yet, but I was seriously hoping they could get here. But what we're just going to do is, I'm just going to get started without them. I am going to draw Christina in her elven character. She can explain a little bit more about this elven character. I looked at all their social medias, and there's so many pictures I could have drawn from. But this one really shows her beautiful face and her beautiful blue eyes. And, of course, I have a thing for pointy ears. I seriously want to go to Toronto when all this is over, lay down on their floor and say, mold my ears so I can look like a Vulcan or an elf or just maybe somebody with pointy ears. I don't know. Just go to Walmart with pointy ears and see what people say. So I am here. She's here. I know if I talk long enough. Hey, and we've got some wonderful people here. Willie is here. Good to see you. I think there's a lot of people who just joined HAPS again. We are multicasting out to several places, so it's one and done. Seriously, I mean, Periscope is going to go. So a lot of your Periscope cool people are here, your creators. Yeah. And I see Ben, Pajama Ben is here coming through Twitter and Periscope. Now, guys, if you are on Twitter or Periscope, the only comments you're going to see are your own. You're really not going to see everybody's. If you come into HAPS, like this lady, if you come into HAPS, then you can see everybody's comments. So she's like, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see anything.
Oh, no.
What did I do wrong?
I don't know. We can see you. We can totally see you.
Really? Yeah. Oh, there it is.
It took mine like a few seconds to warm up. I think it's the weather. I honestly think it's the grid. I don't know if we share the same server, but it took like a minute. That's why I was a little late getting started, because it wasn't frozen. It was just like it took a while to boot up. So we got hello Toronto. We got Stephen, the Pem. We have Vincent Southends from Auckland. We have Travis from Detroit. Woo, I like that. And we have Linda B, a great supporter of all kinds of people. I love how she changed her name to Linda Wear a Mask. I love it. But Linda is a great supporter. Travis, I like your skeleton gloves. Well, they go with my skeleton shirt because I'm in that kind of badass mood.
Oh, so yeah, God, that's awesome. Hold on, I'm wearing my periodic table.
I love it. The periodic table of pirates are what does it say? You have to like explain some of that. What does that mean? Because I love this kind of geeky stuff.
Well, there's gold on there. There's all the standard stuff, but there's also like R and
R.
It's a combination of various things.
Okay. Well, everybody can see and hear you, so I hope you can see everything. And
you walking around.
So I kind of gave you a little bit of an introduction. I don't know if I did a great job. I just kind of was winging it. Trying to just like spill out all the tea about what I do know about you over the years from Periscope and everything.
Oh my God.
And yeah, the Misfits. Now somebody knows. Travis Points. Yes, it is a cool T-shirt. So go ahead and introduce yourself and a little bit about yourself. I know I always do this, like just humor me. Pretend like I don't know who you are. No, I'm sure there's a lot of people in my chat that might not know who you are, and they might not know about the Lord of the Rings challenge.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I love it.
Thank you. Martin and I, you can see Martin isn't here. He kind of got trapped in this weather, and we've been trying to see multiple places in order to get out of this one and move ahead and have a place that works better for us. So we've been trying to see places in the snow, and it was like we managed to relocate one to later on. In other words, very soon. So he's gone to deal with that. It's usually me, but this time it's him because apparently he says I'm the personality. I'll just nod my head. But yes, we are prop makers and special skills actors. We've been together since 1987. We met at a Doctor Who convention in cosplay. So we didn't even meet dressed as ourselves. Hi, Shane. Oh my gosh, Shane. Honey, no, Michelle, you have no idea how special this is. Shane has amazing power. He's down in Texas amongst all the chaos. So she hasn't been able to mind. So the fact that she's with us right now is awesome. Is awesome. And she lost
Saying,
both her.
hang in there. Hang in there. We're watching the news. Am I on echo?
You are echoing.
Damn it. Oh, I made it too.
I gotta mute the one mic. I just
Okay.
plugged in my camera phone.
Okay.
So she's got power back. Woo!
Sweet. How's Phoenix, Shane? Tell me how Phoenix is. I'm going to finish your project soon. We're just trying to kind of sort things out and get real with life, which is just annoying as all hell. But isn't that always the way it works?
It is.
So yeah, Martin and I have been together for a very long time. We met, hi Katrina, we met as cosplayers in 1987 when cosplay was not a common term. You had your hall costume and you had your competition costume, and never the two shall meet, because your hall costume was something you could eat in, and your competition was something you couldn't.
And also your competition costume, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got to be really accurate.
Yes and no. Like, I mean, we got to, it took between about 1987 when we met to about 1995, I think, is when we finally reached international master class costumers. And what that is there's a group called the International Costumers Guild. And since the 1960s, they've been laying down the rules and regulations for competitions at conventions. And international costume level means you've competed at a costume con or a world con level. And at that time, those were the big conventions. Something like a Comic-Con did not exist. So if you competed at a large convention like a costume con, you had three choices of competitions: science fiction and fantasy, historical competition, and the pattern competition. And the pattern competition was always the best to watch people compete in. I never did. I wore someone else's fashion I did modeling for it. But what happens is people submit their own designs, their own patterns, and it gets produced into a book. And then the book gets sent out to anyone who wants to compete. And then you have to claim someone's design. And you have to make their design. So the person who makes the design and the person who designed the design is not the same person. So they judge you on interpretation of the other person's design. And historical competitions, you had to be historically accurate. You had to prove documentation, like people would bring in huge books of documentation. And of course, science fiction and fantasy, which is where Martin and I always competed, it's very different. You only have to provide documentation if you're doing a replica. If you're not doing a replica, then get your butt up there and do it. So
sounds good.
One Punch Man convention. Thanks, Travis.
We have a question from Travis, and I don't know if I have an echo still. I feel like I'm hearing one, but anyway. Have you ever won a competition? And my latency on my vocals is driving me crazy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I hope my sound is good to everyone out there. That's all that matters. But have you ever won a competition?
Win. Oh God, that's an understatement. My first win was 1985 at Buffalo Who Fest. And I was in my Romana pink Stones of Blood. And I got up there and just criticized the doctor, as Romana #1 does. And one of my friends, also a Canadian that had came down, he was dressed as Doctor #4 and he had a bag of jelly babies. And after I got off, because I was so nervous, it was my first competition, I was so nervous that I got off that stage really fast, and we had to go back to the back of the room. Well, my friend who was right after me, they put Doctor #4 right after me, which I guess makes sense. But he started going on about offering everyone jelly babies, especially the judges. And I couldn't resist. Something came over me, because I was never shy in front of a camera, but this is the first time I've been on stage in this kind of capacity. And I screamed, "That's not fair. You're bribing the judges." And he said, "Do you want one then?" And I said, "Yes, doctor, I want one then." So he pulled a jelly baby out of the bag and whipped it at me at the back of the room. It missed me. I ducked. It missed me. It hit the back wall, left this shirkery little patch on the back wall. And I stood up and said, "You could have hurt me." And went running away, and he came running after me. He's like, "Ramona, I'm sorry, Ramona." And yeah, we both won. People thought that we were plants and that we planned this, but we didn't.
It was totally spontaneous, right?
Yeah. And in 1987, I met Martin at his second convention, which was Who Party 9. And he was dressed as Doctor Number 5. And he never had the courage before that to ever answer a costume contest. And I said, "Let's do something." So we did. I had a friend back then who had a K9 who was a little smaller scale than the original. But we did a skit where Doctor Number 5 stumbles on Ramona and K9.
Oh.
And it's like, "Who are you?" "Oh, God, you're after him." And it was great. But Martin and I, in all the years we competed, at our high point, we were clocking anywhere between 7 to 15 conventions a year.
Wow. And it all started with a little bit of a flirtatious collaboration?
Well, I was selling a friend's T-shirts, and I saw him in costume and thought that, I can sell one of these to him. He never bought the T-shirt.
And how many years have you guys been together and working together?
Well, that would be the whole time, I guess, because practically immediately we created the Not the BBC Props department. And we got together with about 5 other people, and he'd drive into Toronto. It was a 2-hour drive at the time. He'd drive into Toronto to be part of the meetings, and we would replicate what we saw in Doctor Who and any other BBC show for less money than they did. And it was funny because they were already low budget, and we were lower budget. And before we knew it, we were traveling to conventions and being paid, like our way was being paid, and all our expenses were covered. And we went from, paying for conventions to everything for free. And it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And
nice.
I've been in the entertainment industry since I was an 8-year-old reporter. I'm now 52.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to go down too many rabbit holes, but we have one more question. Where did it go? Do you like the new female Doctor Who?
Travis, I have mixed feelings about that. Jodie is an excellent actor. She is extremely talented, and she is bright, and she is a welcome change. But as someone who's been watching the show since the early 70s, oh my God, she's already working on it.
Nice.
I
did.
Okay. But yes, so since since in the 80s, we were, with Romana and everything, and we were pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing to have a female Doctor Who back then. And back then, I guess it would have made sense because as Gen Xers, we were experimenting a lot. So as much as I appreciate Jodie, I think the timing was wrong. I felt that BBC made a female Doctor Who simply because it was a political move. Everyone was going female, Ghostbusters female. And I did not want the character to go in that direction personally. I don't feel comfortable about the character going in that direction for a political move. I wanted to be something natural and organic. And I'm still having a hard time figuring out how I would feel if I was the child of a Time Lord to have her be a Time Lady. And Romana's been one of my favorite characters since the beginning of time.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's also hard for me to think of Romana as a guy, but that could just be my upbringing too. So Jodie is an excellent actor. She was a really good choice to be a female doctor. I'm just not sure their timing was right. I felt it was too political.
Gotcha. Well, until the other half comes, I'm going to try and find the right thing for the 3 of us. You, me, and the portrait. So
I keep glancing down at the cell phone, and he's asking me if I can hold out. I'm thinking that he probably stopped to try to eat, which I will not chastise him for.
I can't seem to get that where I want it to go.
We have good tires, but we don't have winter tires.
There, that's a little bit better. I don't know if that works, but I am all kind of new at my setup, trying to include people into my broadcast. Now, yesterday, I didn't use,
This is true.
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I have this like looping, not looping, but I have like this latency on my sound. And in order to not hear it like 10 seconds later in my ears with my headphone, because my headphone's plugged into a laptop, which I've muted as a mic. But I've got my iPhone 11 and I don't have like a little dongle. I have dongle envy or whatever the hell it is. Because I want to be able to put my, for my iPhone 11, I want to be able to put my headphones into my phone, but at the same time, I have to have my phone plugged into the computer to make it as a camera. It's just a mess. So I don't know what I'm doing. I really am just making this up as I go along. But now I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
There we go. Because I turned the phone down, but I can't turn it all the way down. So I can't mute that as a mic. It has to use that as my mic. So I'm talking in there, and it's coming back in here, and it's like 10 seconds after I say it, and I'm gonna just shut up right now and I'm gonna start drawing. But go ahead, and I'm gonna take myself off the camera and talk about the Lord of the Rings thing, and maybe start with the character of you that I'm drawing. I used a couple of pictures to make this one happen, so I hope you like it.
Okay, cool. Katrina and Shane, what happened is the day got away from us and we added another place to look at in our schedule. So earlier today, I was on Frameable Faces broadcast, and it was, it was without Martin, unfortunately, because he decided to go and look at another place. And then he decided to take my mother shopping, which all the power to him. It's a mother thing, right? And yeah, and then it wound up being there were two places we had to add on, and then it wound up being he was going to go see them because he wasn't going to get back because of the weather in time to pick me up, and so I'm a little jumping off the walls. I'm kind of hoping to get some fresh air between the two broadcasts, between this one and the other one. I see a message from him, and I've got a lot to hear from Dee tonight. I am text messaging you guys from while I'm doing this. So yes, he says that he had to stop to eat, and that he's talking with a friend of ours, and to see whether or not he may or may not crash with her. I'm not sure. So I went to work, so I got out of the house. Nice. Getting out of the house is good. I have not gotten out of the house all day, and it drives me crazy. There was a question. Oh, yeah, right. Sunday, and we're going to create a Hobbit from the looks of it for Michelle. We've been Martin and I have been very, very frustrated trying to move everything to indoors and trying to build things when, you got to stand in line for hours on end for something for a curbside pickup and blah, 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 blah. So COVID has done people like us an immense amount of damage. And we understand, and we're forgiving enough that we understand that, it is a virus. It's invisible. There's nothing we can do about it. So we're doing our best to roll with it. But it has lost us a lot of work. So what's happening right now is the Etsy's being shut down. If HAPS works out for us, the Patreon will be shut down. And we're trying to shut down as many external social medias as possible so we can focus on one or two. So it doesn't mean we're not going to update things like our Facebook or our Instagram or stuff like that. But it does mean we have to come up with creative things for places like HAPS, because being used to going to conventions and getting paid, having your way paid, and being creative and artistic, and not having that for a long period of time is wearing thin on Martin and I, and the move, and. So we've decided to start a trend here on HAPS. And we're going to start with our Lord of the Rings characters because, well, we want to. So what we're going to do for a $5 sponsorship for a profile, or a $5 award level, we will write you into the story. we will write you into the story. Hang on, I am texting him again.
That is awesome. You guys, they are creating a live event. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm craving theater. I'm craving movies. I'm craving going out to a club. I'm just craving anything with human beings in front of me.
Well, and
but seriously, I love that you're doing that for us. And $5, I mean, you can't even go to the movies for that.
Well, and this is it. You know, Martin and I are, you know, I admit this place is wrong in so many ways. Part of it is because it's completely open concept. There's no walls. So he can't get on the phone and talk to people while I'm editing video. You know, we can't talk on the phone next to each other because there's no way to divide in this place. We thought we could do it and we can't. Plus, it's a death trap. We're thinking that once we get out of here, we may want to call the city and say, we think this place is illegal, and let the city deal with it after we're out of the way. But we were desperate and we were gung-ho and we thought we could do it. So it's really difficult right now to accept our own limitations. And the only way Martin and I function is to continue that art. And because then you're putting life into characters that aren't you, but are you? So that's when we thought, you know what, Facebook had these little pop-ups saying that you can do ticket sales to do a Facebook event. And we thought, you know, some of our friends have gone that way. But then we had a huge uprising from our Facebook fan base about how they will trust Facebook for updates, but they refuse to trust Facebook with money. So if we go and do the Facebook thing and do ticket sales, they're not going to.
Yes. Now we're talking.
They're not.
Well, I just want to respond to some of the comments.
You got it.
I do know I need an audio splitter of some kind. I know. But I have no income either because the casino complex water park restaurant I worked for shut down and hasn't been in operation. And I moved out of state because I had to decide, am I going to move in with my boyfriend or my dad or my brother? I literally had to pick up and move everything. So that's why I'm in Ohio. I'm doing really good. I'm very blessed. But I get the whole, wow, we got to pivot. We got to move. We got to do whatever we have to do to survive as creatives, as people who are in the service industry. You know what I mean?
Move number 8. This will be move number 8 in a year and a half.
I know. I can't even imagine. I freaking hate moving. Oh my God. Well, I don't know how you're going to do it.
It's harder on Martin than me. It is starting to affect me, but it's harder on Martin than me because he grew up on a farm. It was like once his parents came over from Germany, they made a couple moves. Then he was born on the farm and he spent most of his life on the farm. And then he had a second place when he was in his early teens. And then they moved one more time 5 years later, and that was his home for. So in his whole time between when he was born and when I met him, he'd only moved 3 times.
Wow.
I was moving every second year.
Well, I'm going to mute myself again. But before I do, Ryan, thank you so much. He's got one that he's not using. And he's talking about like, I got one you can have for free. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. This is why we're doing these. I should just rename this series like the collab of I don't know, love fest. Because I just want to love on you. I don't have a lot of income to throw your way, or I would totally do that. But someday it's gonna happen. But this is the best I can do, guys. I draw, and I just want to, draw you as this character. I'm just going to go back to it, but go ahead and talk more about the Lord of the Rings stuff and what people can expect on Sunday.
Okay, you got it. Now, Shane, yes, you are creative and you're a very talented creative. And I will apologize again and again because I feel like crap. I know it was just a doodle you did on a napkin of a horse for me. And it was in a restaurant and we were but it had a memory attached to that moment. And at some point in one of these moves, it went bye-bye. And I still feel like crap. I know you keep saying it's okay, it was just a doodle, but you're right. You are creative. You have to do what you have to do. And it was that moment, it was the memory connected to what you did. And I'm still feeling like crap that that little napkin did not make it somehow. So, I don't know. If you ever doodle something for me, Shane, again, I will put it in a frame and I will never lose it. I don't
get
care
that.
about another napkin. Shane, do me another horse on another napkin. I will frame it this
funny.
time.
A horse on a napkin is something my twin brother doodled for me once. He did
Really?
these things, yeah, where he was I don't know, he was just like seeing people were like challenging him how fast he could draw something, and he was drawing all his napkin art, and everybody saved their napkins, and including me, and put them up on their wall and framed them. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not just a doodle, it's art.
Shane, honey, I know you're having problems. We can always catch the replay because this is on my profiles as well as hers. And Shane, I definitely think you and Michelle could have a lot in common. So give her a chat, give her a follow, give her a subscription, and you will be fine, honey. So Sunday. I want to do one of those ads like Sunday.
I could do the echo for a second, but it would like make dogs howl if I like unmuted the other mic. Sunday. Wait, shut up, Michelle.
You're fine, Michelle. Like I said, your first name is my middle name. Everything's good. Everything's good. So yes, so from the frustration of the conventions and from the frustration of friends saying, I am not paying for tickets on Facebook because I don't trust them on the money level. I said, you know what? I looked at Martin and I said, HAPS. They're beta, so they're still experimenting. And we lost all the cosplayers, most of the cosplayers off of Periscope. So let's see if we can start this right this time. Let's do this on HAPS. And then he's like, well, ticket sales. And that's right, no ticket sales. And then we thought, you know what? We need to be artistic. Yes, we have to financially survive during this COVID thing. However, everyone will enjoy it even though they're not in it. So those who want to be in it will either help us promote it in a positive way or $5. $5 sounds good. $5 sounds good.
This sounds like the beginning of something that could happen on a regular basis. Other people might get this idea and say, hey, let's just make that happening. Sorry. Mute.
If the Lord of the Rings one succeeds, guys, if we get at least $40 worth of, either awards or sponsors or the combination of both, the goal is to be able to do this for every single special time, or at least close to special time. For example, St. Patrick's, either the day of or close to it, we want to do it again with a $5, and we want to pull out my Queen Maeve, which is my Irish fairy. And we want to make everyone into folklore characters, Irish folklore characters. Doesn't matter to us, it's all creative. Lost the pick for a sec, okay. I do remember Mutz. I do. Oh, Shane. We got to get you up here, honey. We're just going to get you up here.
Oh.
Just come back to Canada. Shane was sent back to the United States.
I was like, who are you talking to? I want to go back to Canada. By the way, I think Shane thought I am American. I am American and Canadian. So, yeah. The answer is yes and no. But, yeah. So, who is the one I'm drawing? Because I'm kind of thinking, instead of putting that little, I don't know what that was over her little tear. What?
My little crown?
Yeah, your crown. I was thinking of doing flowers instead.
No.
License. No. Okay. No.
I call her Luthien Amadil.
Oh, sorry.
Amadil. With elves, it's the opposite. Your last name is your first name. Your first name is your last.
Oh. Okay.
So Luthien is based on on another Luthien in Luthien and Beren, which were the original.
Oh, you explained Luthians earlier today.
Hmm. So she is Luthien Amidil. So she is a descendant of the original Luthien. So she's an archer, which means she also has a bit of noble genetics in her. She's not a high elf anymore because she's given up that in order to go out and be an archer and be out in the real world and be with her ranger, aka Martin. So Martin's my ranger, and it's a circlet denoting her family house, and that's what it is. The circlet denotes her family house, and so she's a descendant of the original Luthien, and she wound up with the same name. So that's who she is. She's
all right. No flowers.
No flowers.
Not, especially when she gets angry and she turns blue.
We don't want blue elves.
You don't want a blue elf. Nope.
Not happy elves.
They're not Smurfs. You dare defy me.
Second, Martin is distracting me.
Martin, get in here. Oh, no, I know he's eating or something. It's gotten really dark.
He's found a friend.
I think it's still snowing.
Yes, it is. Here it is.
Well, I don't want to take like a bunch of your time. It is 6:40. When are you guys going live for your broadcasts? Is it just after he gets back, or how's that working?
I have no idea. Well, 7:30 is when we go to air. So if he's not back, then I will have to go to air.
Okay. All right. So
I will fit food in somewhere in here. I'm not sure where, but that's okay. I can stay a little while longer, and I am just watching you draw, and I am amazed at how fast you draw.
Well, yesterday kind of sucked because those guys, I love them. They had given me individual portraits, which I studied and prepped so that it would save time. And then at the last minute, they're like, "Can you do this together?" And I didn't have time to prep it. And then there was all kind of stuff going on. I think I was just a little overwhelmed because I wanted them to talk and I wanted them to play music. But then we had a troll, and it was just like this whole thing that kept interrupting my drawing. And I was just like getting off track, and it was like, this sucks. This is so not how I usually draw. But I think everybody was okay with that. So I'm going to go back to their portrait when I have some time alone with it. And then maybe like on Saturday. But this is great. You guys, I want to do more things like this where I can draw you live. Because what I'm doing is I couldn't bring up the photo for some reason. I don't know how. Maybe I just said it was too big. I forgot to downsize it. So no. I don't need a photo. I need you. No. I don't need a photo. I need you.
Do you want me to take
off? Okay. Take your glasses off and just look in the camera for a little bit. You guys look at. This is what I'm looking at. Is those beautiful blue eyes. So these are going to be colored for sure. Because look at how beautiful your eyes are. They're just
I can't
awesome.
read, but I can still talk. Thank you. I inherited my eyes from my father.
Nice.
We both have stigmatisms, which apparently makes the eye flatter.
Huh.
So
you have like a beautiful almond shape, but it has that nice kind of like curve that I think is ideal. You don't even need makeup to enhance your eyes. That's what I'm seeing. You have beautiful, beautiful, naturally beautiful eyes. Seriously. So I had to get this one. I mean, in the picture, you're actually looking over there a little mischievous. I almost kept that. But I just thought, no, I'm doing a portrait. I want it to look like, because you had another picture of yourself, not in costume, and you had a really interesting look on your face, but I could really see your eyes. So those eyes are transplanted on here from that picture. So it didn't matter if I didn't have like a reference. I got it in my head, and I got you right here in front of me, which is more than what I could ask for as a portrait artist. I literally have someone here live sitting for me, and I can talk with them. So Now I noticed on a couple of different costumes, you had like little ringlets of hair here, but you don't want that here, do you? You want it kind of like pulled back like your hair is right now?
Well, I wear a wig when I do the elf because my hairline has been receding quite a bit. So the wig actually comes to about here, and it's much thicker than my own hair. And then what I do is I pull the front of it back and do the stereotypical elf braid.
Oh, I didn't know that was a wig.
Yeah, that's a wig.
Wow, that's a really
And
good
then
wig.
I do the two little braids out here.
I do have the braids in my mind right here. Yeah.
Yeah, partially the two braids in front are one of those stereotypical things that elves do, but also because when I get really lazy and I don't want to blend my ears, it's a good way to cheat is to just put a teeny tiny bit of spirit gum and stick the braids down to the edge of the ear and pretend, pretend that the edge isn't there.
That's tricky, and that is funny. Like I meant to do that.
That's right.
So
that's why I'm making new ears.
Nice. Wow.
But yes,
I'll see how far I can get onto this, but you just go ahead and keep talking to people. I can't really read the comments, folks, but go ahead and read them for me. You can help me out with that.
Katrina somewhere back there said Morgan Le Fay. Well, Morgan Le Fay doesn't really exist in the Lord of the Rings universe. So the question becomes, do you want to be someone like Éowyn? Éowyn is a Rohirrim, and Rohirrims are the horse people. Basically, everything they do is around horses. Their shields have horses. And Éowyn was the hero of the battle because the whole Witch King thing was, I cannot be killed by any man. And she goes into battle disguised as a man and faces him and pulls out her sword and says, I am no man. And yeah,
no man. I get it. Okay.
So by all means, anyone who's already done the $5 or has contributed, do make sure you PM me or talk on one of the casts about it on the comments. And let's, she has an elf look. Thank you, Shane.
She does.
I'm trying to look past the camera without my glasses.
You can you don't have to put your glasses back on. Just put your glasses back on. I'm sorry. I just wanted to see them real close, and I wanted everybody else to see what it is that I see. So speaking of, we're just going to go right ahead and bring you to life by getting detail on those beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah, you'll notice Luthien has got a hairline.
At first, I had to look at other pictures going like, is she wearing lenses? Because they're such a pretty deep blue.
Now you see, everyone, Katrina's a sponsor. You can see it says active sponsor.
Yes, she is one of my sponsors
as well.
Yep.
Yes. And
I love her.
Katrina does the $5, a month thing. So because in her case, everything we do, we will include her. And if she doesn't get her butt in gear to make sure that we know what kind of character we're including, then we'll just make it up for her. She will have no choice.
Well, just so you guys know, the one thing I'm struggling with is that I want to draw as many portraits of people on HAPs or portraits for people, that are on. You know what I'm saying? Like not just whatever I want to draw. Now, Katrina is one of my sponsors, right? I still have a David Bowie picture with her name on it, but I've been reticent because we got this thing from the post office and how it takes forever. So we're thinking we're going to mail it not using the post office, but I mean, I don't know what to do to trust the mail because everybody's using it. It's overwhelmed. I've sent stuff in the mail before and it got lost. So it's just kind of like a matter of us going on, strapping on our masks, getting down to like FedEx or UPS because, the mail can just pick it up without us going there, but it'll take like a month or more to get there, 6 to 8 weeks or something, because they're changing everything. They're like lumping all this different kinds of first class mail together. They're limiting how many planes go off with our mail. So our mail is taking like forever. I got my Christmas cards like at the beginning of February from people that sent them in December. Seriously. So I'm just like, if she doesn't mind, going on a slow boat to China and back. But that's been my concern about doing commissions. So, we all have to bend and try to do different things. Now, I don't know about you, but I would love to see more posts of what you have on. You said you lost your Etsy shop. That's right. And I know you're like me. You're in process of getting your website together. But when you do, post as much as you can, as often as you can, as often, as you can, of what you have for sale, because that's the best way to support an artist, So I don't know. We'll figure this all out.
We're really happy that we got HAP's permission to put the HAP's magnet that we printed online with our 3D printer and the wooden sign, the HAP's wooden sign, up on our new store, which I'm happy for. We're not charging much, like we're not going to make more than $1 profit off of it, because HAPS does own their logo. So we don't want to push our luck. But we asked their permission and they're more than happy to let us. So that's kind of exciting. So HAPS magnets and HAPS signs will be available for everyone to put on the back of the broadcast. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the carhunger.ca, because this is a piece of advice I will give you guys always, over and over again, because I learned from experience. If you want to do a vanity domain, do every single thing you can afford.
That's exactly what I did a few months ago. Yep.
.net, .org, .ca, .com, .anything. Mm-hmm. That is the most popular. Not everything, because like .biz is not very popular, or .tv, even though HAPS uses it, is not very popular. So there's a number of them that aren't very popular. So don't worry, don't blow your whole budget. Go after the ones other people will snatch to pretend to be you. And we've had that happen already, where someone has pretended to be us. And a lot of damage to our careers and our property and a lot of things that we were working on at the time. And this person is very bitter and horrible. And bitter and horrible people,
not good.
They don't come back. No, not good at all. So give me an excuse to come back to Ohio. Nice. So yeah, grab them all. So the plan is because we're doing it as a part of Square. Martin and I have been using Square since we had our Renaissance Festival many years ago. So to be able to use it in this form is really good for us. We had Times Past Square and we had a ABC Renfest Square. So we've called them up and we've said, listen, can we cancel one, shut down the Renaissance Festival one, and turn the Times Past one into the Car Hunger Creative one? And they were like, yeah, no big deal. We'll just change the information. So they're really good about it. So we're going to make a Square store, and then carhunger.ca will go to that store. Carhunger.com will eventually get a new website altogether.
Oh, that's awesome. And the Canadian government is helping?
They are. They are. They put in a program to pay for web designers to get small business and artists in stores online. Yeah. So they're a little company. There's a couple other companies, but the one we're in is the shop. Let me look at that again so I can plug them, because they are incredible people and you guys should all check them out, because eventually we will be on there. They are the, where is it? The shop here.
Actually, hold on. Sorry.
Digital Main Street. What would you do?
There, now I can see. Sorry. It's like right in the middle of something and my little stump went flying. Ooh, look at all the dust on my floor. Ew.
I'm trying not to.
Dust bunnies are getting out of control. They're reproducing.
I mean,
all right, sorry, go ahead and show me.
That's okay. There are a number of things that they can't do for us because there are other grants, but because we don't have a physical store on the street, there's some grants we can't go for, but we can go for this this particular grant. So this is the people here, digitalmainstreet.ca. They call themselves Digital Main Street because they're taking actual brick and mortar businesses and people like us that are freelancers working from our homes or working from, and they're giving us an option to be able to create online stores. So they give us access to a web designer for up to 3 months.
Nice.
The store, get it up, and train us as to how to use the store. And then they'll let us go after the few months. But so that's what we've done is we've become part of the Digital Main Street government program. And we are going online, which is weird for us because as prop makers, you hand us the photograph or the drawing or whatever you want us to replicate.
It's all physical product, not digital.
Yeah, well, this is it. What we're used to is you tell us what you want first, then we make it. But now we have to make it first and then try to sell it.
That's like a portrait artist in some ways. Like I'm really concerned about doing commissions because I know it's what people want, but they're not here in person. And I'm used to doing it in person because mailing your art, again, can be kind of your original art, you know what I mean? Can be kind of a nightmare. But, reproduction, like if you throw your stuff up on a site and then people can buy whatever they want, a print, a canvas or whatever, that's a totally different thing. But my brother is in the same kind of situation you are because he's used to going to shows to communicate with his specific clients, like what he does. And of course, they can't do that. So I don't know. And then, of course, he teaches classes. So there's a lot of things you can't do, like that's not in person. But kudos for you for guys. Just keep at it. Keep trying. Be persistent. Don't give up. I mean, I really hope that the HAPS community specifically can help you with certain things. But again, tell us about the difference between Patreon and what you want to do as HAPS. So that comes home. For those who just joining, this is Chris and Martin Care Hunger, and they just posted a link there. But this is really good stuff. Just tell us about the difference between Patreon and what you want to do here. Ding, Martin.
It isn't. He's talking about he's got a friend who's being as COVID safe as possible that he's stopped to be able to have dinner at. So we may not see him during this broadcast. We will hopefully see him at the 7:30 one.
Okay.
But
that's okay. I'm only drawing you anyway. I'm not drawing him. No, I might draw him, but it'd be at a later time, maybe. But I had to draw you. This was my idea, by the way. It wasn't like she was like, please draw me. No, but you can ask me, and I'll probably say yes. Because I'm looking for people to draw, but I definitely wanted to help out. And I love elf. I love elf culture. I have an affinity for elf culture. Just kidding. What's that from the movie Elf? Yeah. Oops, I think I need to put this down.
And this is it. Like, I mean, when it comes to the Patreon thing, and it's great that you're asking that question. It's a very good question. We had a Patreon long ago when it first started existing, and we did the best we could to create those levels and everything. And we followed the advice of people. We called people up and talked to them and followed the advice. And we were doing okay. But then Patreon back then changed the rules as to how they charge and what they do.
Oh.
And it was really hard for us to figure out things like postage and things to send out hard copies of stuff, especially from Canada. Canada postal system is not.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Really. I mean, you're committed to doing it on a regular basis. And, sometimes stuff happens and it's out of your control.
Shane, that is a good question for Michelle. Michelle, just to give you a bit of a history, Shane lost both of her fur babies together, and she had dogs for the longest time, and both Piper was her first cat, and Emmy was behind, and the two of them were so closely bonded that when Piper passed away, Emmy wasn't far behind, and we made her a Piper Angel vial. Instead of putting sugar in it, we put catnip in it. And another friend of ours locally here has made her a 3D print of Piper and Emmy curled up together on a cushion. And I've got a secret for her of one more project that I think I can afford to do for her and not get a huge bite out of a finance and give her a little bit of more of a memory. But she's asking how much it would cost for you to draw her two kitty cats if she sends you pictures.
Okay, well, the best thing, since you can't email me on Haps yet, you're coming from Facebook?
Yeah, she's presently on Facebook. She's in Texas.
Okay, I was just thinking on Twitter is how I'm sending people to DM me right now.
On Instagram, let me type this out for you because I'm having a better time with the internet than she is. She is.
Oh, could you send her my Twitter profile so she can follow me and DM me there? Because I'll make arrangements. I just work that on a person by person basis, but I am actually doing somebody's fur baby that has passed away. Actually, I do like to do what I call honoring portraits, and that includes pets. So yeah.
Okay.
On
there,
Instagram,
she will see that.
Talented cats. All right, I'll look for her up there if she doesn't find me on Twitter.
Okay.
She's on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Okay. We'll find you.
I think the two of you will get along really well too.
Nice.
She met me on Periscope many years ago while I was doing some of our earlier broadcasts of walking through the snow, which was an amazing thing in BC. It's an oddity in BC, so it was amazing to see all that snow, and that's how we first became friends. And then she moved to Vancouver to study.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's shame. Okay, I actually remember that.
Oh, good. Okay, but yeah, so in our case on Patreon, it became too difficult for us because working in the entertainment industry and being everywhere and not really knowing what your schedule was, to be able to say to our patrons that we're going to spend time teaching them or working with them or any kind of that stuff. And then Patreon at that time changed a lot of the rules and regulations. So it became financially unable.
Right.
We would have to excessively, our levels would be way too big. So we walked away from it.
You didn't want to eventually not overcharge, but you didn't want to charge reach out of people's range, right? Right.
Well, yeah, and you get to set. You're stuck for weeks on end, but you're supposed to be doing this one-on-one Zoom or Skype back then, right? And it was just able to get a hold of everyone and say, hey guys, I know you're at the $30 a month level, and we just can't keep that schedule because we're on a production that pays us a lot more than what you're paying us. So we'll get caught up next month, and then it gets backlogged, and then people don't have the time. And then, so to use Patreon was just way too difficult.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I could never do it, honestly.
And then there's the digital file thing. We started offering digital files, files for 3D printers, files for cutters, files, but can't hear anything working with power tools. Hearing protection. I'm probably wearing pants. No, you're not, Dawn. Don't lie to us. But
and mind you, you were doing a full-time job at that time. I mean, on top of all that. So.
Certain months of the year, full and a half.
Wow.
I mean, we're on set for 12 hours, 5 days out of the week.
Oh, yeah. The life of the set.
Yeah. And then you've got nothing for 6 months, and you can't say to someone on Patreon, I'm only going to follow through for these 6 months.
Right.
You kind of have to follow through all 12. So Patreon wound up not working for us. And then we tried again because people encouraged us to reboot it. So we thought we'll try again. So we tried to make levels, and this was just before the whole COVID thing started. We tried to make levels where we could do birthday greetings and stuff like that at certain levels. But again, it became too difficult to manage and schedule. So now we decided, okay, with this here on HAPS, what we can do is for that $5 donation, you're written into it.
Ah,
and then after
nice.
we run the credits, because we will run credits, I'm going to create credits, which is why the deadline's the day before, so I have 24 hours to create credits. So I will create credits, and then after the credits, that's when we sit down and talk. And
Nice.
that can come on and talk, or if they want to type because they want to stay anonymous. And if they're there to see their character, then that's how we do it. And yeah, and then that way they get to be part of the story. So if you want to contribute that money, then you get to be part of the story. If not, you get to watch the storytelling.
Nice. Either way, you get to be a part of it. And I'm like showing like nothing over here, so I'm just gonna boop. and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I left the camera on. Oh, who needs me? Who needs that?
To me, perhaps it's a much more.
I'm sorry.
Viable. That's okay. It's a much more viable way to do this for us. You know, because then we don't have to set those certain limits. Now, if we get over those limits, I mean, if HAPS winds up being better than Patreon, then I am letting my Patreon go. I
hope so. I hope that's how it actually works out for you. Because the way I look at it as an artist and a person who's busy and usually has a full-time job as well on top of all of that and other things that I like to do. Oh, I don't know, like have a life. All your social medias and everything that you do is kind of funneled in one place. Like again, we're not just saying this. HAPS is not paying us. We are just like, wow, I can live stream one time, done. Woo, efficiency. It's out to all my socials, one and done. I don't have to keep post here, post there, here post, there post, everywhere post. So you know what? You're just saving time, and time is money. Seriously. Thank you, Demiti, over there in Australia. Yes, I agree, Ryan. I like how HAPS can make some things really easy. We had a terrible troll from Periscope. I could only mute one comment at a time. And Pablo was muting him while I took the time to go into Periscope and finally block him. So we literally had like all kinds of support to get rid of. I mean, he was getting really naughty. So, you know, but I love that. You never had that.
Only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before, you know, Martin and I start trolling the trolls again. It's been a while. I mean,
it's like the crank calls that Doug and Ellie do, you know, like they spam the spammers.
Yes. So Michelle, I'm not going to be here much longer because I'd like to find out where Martin is so he can be on our body positive image broadcast that's happening at 7:30.
Oh, that's right.
And I would like to let him know that it's still a go ahead and be able to connect with him just before. So yeah, so are we gonna, Michelle, are we gonna do you as a hobbit?
Oh, that's right. You know, I didn't even like I wasn't doing this so I could participate or
I don't care. I'm putting you in.
But yeah, I'm down to clown. Yeah.
So you're down with being the hobbit?
Tell me, what do I have to do?
Well,
what do I get myself into?
You really don't have to do much because it'll be up to Martin and I to do all the writing.
Nice.
So if we're going to make you a hobbit, so that means we will have to pick a hobbit name. Do you care what hobbit family line you're part of?
I will let you do all that.
Ooh. Do you want to be a Baggins?
Oh, sure. I mean, why not? They're the famous hobbits, you know. They're the most famous.
So. See, Ryan, I've been hoping that, you see, I'm at a point now that if by Sunday I don't get one of the $5 donations to agree to be a troll in the story, I'm going to find like the most annoying troll we ever had on Periscope and name a troll after that person and just not tell that person because I probably already blocked them.
That's too funny. So is this starting to actually look like you as an elf? Is it starting? Does it resemble you? Do you like it? I mean, I know it's still just graphite. I'm gonna add color at some point and go over some of that, especially your eyes. So, and then that's a beautiful teal green outfit.
I love my outfit.
So I'll incorporate teal, and of course your hair is black, but I'm not going to worry about the hair.
Well, it's dark
I wanted
brown.
to get this part while I had you.
It's dark brown.
Beautiful. Mine is dark brown too, actually.
It's all kind of brittle now because of the whole COVID thing. I haven't been able to.
Same here. Oh my God.
Yeah. Hang on.
So we're kind of like sisters. Just kidding. We have like similar hair and similar texture.
Well, my mother's part native.
That's right. I knew that.
So this was the other piece of art that I was talking about where
Shane wants to be nominated. Open bombs. Hi, Yassine. Hello. Sometimes you gotta have fun with the trolls. And then I don't know what that would be epic, but I forgot
remember I said that we were doing this promo thing for a comic shop and we were in our outfits and the guest artist, I don't remember his name, but the guest artist did everyone's drawings at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Oh, is this the Bobs? So open Bobs is for real. Okay, got it.
I swear to God, all you see is my chest. You don't
those fantasy artists. Oh my God. That is all I can see.
I'm not kidding.
That's hilarious.
That's your eye goes immediately there, doesn't it?
I literally is like
it's like, I'm sorry, honey, no. I already know I'm big chested, but that outfit is designed to make them look smaller and you just made them look bigger.
Maybe the thing for me is to hang all to this art and then travel the country, like giving it to people, and go over to go over to the UK and pass my art out.
So Michelle, do you want to be a hobbit we meet on the road, or do you want to be a hobbit that travels with us?
I want to be a travel hobbit.
So we're gonna have to give you your own pony.
No, I do like to cook. I am that you can bring the chef thing in, that I will cook for everybody, because that's what we hobbits do. Hospitality. Hospitality. Yep. I'm good at that.
Okay. so you're more a Sam type character than you are a Frodo. Maybe.
I can totally relate to Samwise Gamgee, So I have a pipe. So anyway.
Nice.
Now, what do I dress up? How do I dress up to look more like a hobbit? What would you suggest?
You don't have to dress up, but if you want to, for the end when we bring people on, if they want to, then I would recommend just simply a nice little dress, because they, the girl hobbits have usually got the little fluffy sleeve with the short sleeve and the skirt. And the little kind of, it almost looks German to me, the way when I look at the hobbit, they look kind of German with the thing.
Okay.
Or you could do the boy look with the long sleeve kind of shirt and the little vest and a pipe in mouth.
I do have a pipe. That's too funny.
And don't worry, I will be sending things out probably Friday night or Saturday morning saying, okay, this is how far we've gotten. Do you actually want to be on air at the end of it, or are you not going to be present? And we should just make sure we mention you a lot.
Okay. All right. So there we go.
We are starting on air on Sunday at 8:00, I believe is what I put it at.
PM, right?
Yeah, PM and not AM. Not on a Sunday.
I don't want to hurt everybody. 8 a.m. Oh my God.
I used to put it in high school. Do I look Catholic to you? All
right, so I'll draw the braid right here. Just two braids, right? Right here.
And little braids. Yep, that's right.
Yep. So it'll be two here, and then there's one that I saw. I could probably make another one come over. So it'll be two on both sides. So, okay then. Well, it is 7:13. Do you got to get set up, or?
I got to get over there. Yep. I got to find out where Martin is and get over to the other broadcast and let him know that We're going to rock and roll. I haven't abandoned them.
Somebody goes, puffy sleeve, like Seinfeld, the puffy shirt. Yeah. I'll find something, but I don't know. I like have a pink kind of folky looking embroidery shirt that's kind of loose that might work. I don't know. So we'll see.
We expect the beginning of the story to be about, like, the story itself to be about an hour, and then we'll spend about half an hour to an hour because you can only invite so many people on.
Now, what exactly do we do when we come on? Like, what are you gonna just direct us, or?
Well, the story will be already written, and then the credits will roll, so it'll be the story of the character, and that way, not everyone's pressured to do costumes or anything like that. And then, if you want to come on afterwards to talk about, either rip Martin and I apart for defacing your existence and destroying your good name. You'll have the opportunity after the fact to basically be able to get on and have your say. Not everyone's going to want to do that, and not everyone's going to do costume, which is fine, but that'll be after the story's told.
I think it'll be fun just to get together and chat, and geek out on Lord of the Rings. So, yep. So
yeah, I was going to take this out of the mold on air with you, but it still feels wet for some reason. So I think we put too much moisture in the plaster. So this may not unmold until tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I should say bye to Ryan, but he's probably already gone. But I'm definitely going to get in touch with him. So bye. We'll see you on Sunday, if not before, Ryan. So thank you.
Yay.
I'm sorry.
Everyone remember $5 an award or a sponsorship. We create the character. We write you into the story. We will be telling the story as if our characters are telling the story. So Martin will do all the male voices and I will do all the female characters. And then at the end, we will allow people to come on in. We'll invite anyone who wants to come on in a few at a time so that our internets are not flooded, and spend about 10-15 minutes with each person to be able to say, hey, what do you think? Did I kill you?
Okay, so I'm gonna call this the stopping point and let you get off, and I'll wrap it up and say my goodbyes. But you guys follow Car Hunger on all social medias, and for those new to Haps, when you follow, like, you can touch her name right in the broadcast where it has the underline. Anyway, and then it'll take you to her profile page, right? So I am like, my speech is weird. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, all of those little social media icons are like, you touch on those and you can go find them, go follow them there. And we're going to close this out and we're going to go into their broadcast as soon as they're ready. Thank you for everybody for showing up. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you, Ryan, for the little gadget I could really use so I don't have to hear myself 10 seconds later. Anyway, thank you for coming on. Thank you for trusting me with your face. And I can't wait to finish this. And maybe I'll come into a later broadcast sometime and we'll finish it together. Because I love coming into your broadcast where we can geek out, do trivia, anything you want. I'm yours. So we'll see you then.
Talk you got to you later. It, honey.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye. Nice meeting you too, Shane. Shane, call me. Do the same thing. Come into Haps, Shane. You don't have to broadcast to be a part of what's going on, so you can see all the comments. So
she's been having a hard time with her internet.
Oh, that's right. She's in Texas. Tell Ted Cruz to do his job. I don't know. Anyway, bye. We're gonna end this.
Later, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys.